I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cabs and skyscrapers. It's hard to get a start in these parts without paper. Homie, I grew up in hell, a block away from heaven. That corner 15 minutes, it move a 7. Pure snow, bag it then watch it go. Occupational options, get some blow or some hoe. Shoot the ball of the strap, learn the rap or the jack. Good man, in the meantime, go ahead and pump a pack. This my Regal Royal flow, my James Bond bounce. That 007, that 62 on my count.
What's going on, y'all? It's your guy here, June Archer. Before we get started, go ahead, hit that, bro. Hit that, bro. Here with the star of Power Book 2. You seen him in Power on STARZ. Michael Rainey Jr. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
Man, listen, I'm excited about this new season, man. How are you feeling? I mean, the last time we saw you, you shot Ghost. Why, man? Why?
I had to, he was in the way of my future, like he said, gave him a chance to change his mind. He wanted to turn me in, so I'm like, fuck that. I wasn't going for it.
So let me ask you this then. Did you shoot Ghost or did you shoot your father? Like, there's a discrepancy I want to try to figure out. Did you have beef with your dad or did you have beef with Ghost?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because Tariq, he never wanted to kill his father. You feel me? But his father, he started changing, and Ghost kind of like took over, the father. So it's like Tariq had no other choice, like, you're not acting like my father right now, so gotta go, He had to protect Ma, he had to protect himself, he had to protect the family, so.
He had to make that move.
Yeah, he had to do what he had to do,
Now, did Tariq see himself in his father? And that's kind of what the power struggle was? And now that, you're on to this new season and we're seeing this different side now of Tariq St. Patrick, are we going to see that there's a lot of similarities with Tariq St. Patrick and Ghost?
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely going to see the similarities because, Tariq is living in two worlds right now. He's in school trying to get those good grades to get the will and everything. And then he's in the streets trying to get money for mom's lawyer and stuff. So, like, it's definitely a resemblance. Ghost, he was in the club world and he was in the drug world. And now he's in the, he was in the politics world and the drug world and everything. So it's like, Tariq is basically like, it's like history. It's like history rewriting itself. And Tariq, he doesn't even notice how similar he is to Ghost. So that's another crazy part about it, because like Tariq doesn't even notice the shit that he does is basically just like Ghost, and it's just like it kind of like takes him over, and that's just how he moves. Like it's in his blood.
Right.
So it's inevitable.
Well, to me, when we're watching it, and as you said, you're going to school, you're in this particular private school, and you got the home life, you got the background and the backdrop of what you had to deal with. We're talking about code switching, right?
Yeah,
now, for people that don't know, you're Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, right? We're Jamaican. A lot of code switch happens when you're Jamaican and when you're black, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
Did that help you be able to kind of understand how deep you had to really think in order to code switch as the character Tariq?
No, yeah, definitely, because like certain situations, like just being black, like you said, like we gotta adjust kind of, because it's kind of what people expect from us, I guess. But it's not only just that, but it's just like like certain things people just don't want to give to us unless we act a certain way, look a certain way. So we gotta code switch to get what we need in life certain times. So that's basically what Tariq is doing. Like he's in the streets, he's acting. He's smart, he's street smart, gangster. When he's in school talking to the principals, he's sitting up like this,
right.
Like real cordial with it. So that's definitely plays a big factor in the show for sure, code switching.
Now, like I said, we two different generations, but now if Tariq was Jamaican, would he get away with some of the things that he was doing?
Hell no. Not one chance, hell no.
Something different.
Nah,
culturally
Caribbean
different.
Parents don't play that. Caribbean parents don't play that. You know that already. So you try one little thing, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It's a
the
wrap.
minute you even raise your voice, it was going to be a problem.
It's over.
Big thump.
Yeah, big thump in the ass.
So you started when you were 12 years old. You're 19. How have you developed as a person and as a character from when you started to now, going into Power Book 2?
Man, a lot. I basically grew up, you know, like on the set of Power, you know, around everybody. I was 12, turning 13 when I started. I'm about to be 20 next month, so it's like I definitely learned a lot from everyone being on set. Not even just the cast, like even the crew, like, you know, producers, everybody. Like everyone taught me a little something going on in my life, you know. So having them around as I was growing up definitely helped me, you know, become the person I am now. So shout out to all my Power people, you know, the cast and the crew and all of that.
What's the dynamic with you and Notori on the show as mother and son? How has that developed off screen as well as on screen? Because we see this love between the both of you, like you're holding your mother down, she's holding you down. How does that work off screen in terms of being able to get ready and prepared to make that happen? Because there's so many intense scenes with the both of you, right? And I'm only assuming for this new spinoff that things are getting ready to get crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna get crazy. But I mean, like, just as far as, you know, like chemistry and everything and warming up for scenes, it's like for me and Notori it's always easy. Like me and her, we be knocking scenes out like this. Like I don't know, like with us, like we always working quick. So
Some magic.
Yeah, it's
magic.
Some magic. Yeah. So shout out to Tori. I love her. We work very, very well together.
What can we expect from the jump with Tariq? When we tune in September 6th, what do we expect? Is there going to be any surprises? Do we have to wait? Is there some kind of anticipation? Like, what can we expect from the jump?
I mean, there's definitely going to be some surprises for sure. But honestly, what you could expect from the jump is just, it's gonna get crazy fast because, you know, Tariq, he's already in some deep stuff, you know, like he's coming off of killing his father. He already got that weighing on him as far as, like, you know, just thinking like, damn, I just killed my father. Like, you know, like, no, he never really wanted to do that, but he had to. So, like, obviously that's weighing on him. Then Ma going and taking the rap for it, and she didn't even do it. Like, obviously that's weighing on him as well. So it's like he's got a lot to think about. He got a lot of decisions to make. And, you know, he got to look out for his family. You know, he got to look out for Yasmin and Grandma and Ma. So, you know, he's like the man of the family now. So I can expect to see Tariq make some crazy decisions for him and his family for sure.
Who's the comedian on set? Because for every set, we always hear some backstory about who was pulling the prank, who's pulling the joke. Who was the prankster? Who was the comedian that when they say cut, they jump right in and they making everybody laugh? Who is that?
Definitely Gianni. Definitely Gianni that plays Braden, and Method Man. Like when Method Man steps on set, like the energy is just like it changes. Like nobody could have a frown on their face when Method Man is on set. He does not have it. Like as soon as he gets on set, he's uplifting everybody, and the energy is just like it's up there. So it's definitely Gianni and Method Man. Like them two, definitely the funniest two on set. I mean, me too. Like I've always be joking around with everybody, but like Gianni and Method Man, those two, too funny, bro. Like there's no dull moments on set when they're there. So.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
Now, you went from playing Tariq with a bunch of adults. In Power Book 2, it's a lot of young people your age.
Right.
How has the energy changed from being with, you know, 50, Amari, Joseph? Like, how is that now your peers, y'all are holding it down now for this next story. How's that feel? What's the energy like?
It's definitely different. Like, I like it. That's the thing I'm mostly excited for people to see, you know, like Tariq being around like people his age and actually seeing Tariq, like, you know, be a kid, you know, you feel me? Like in the original series, you never really get to see those moments of Tariq just being, you know, the teenager he is, you feel me?
Right.
So, like, that's one thing I was definitely excited for. So, you know, working with people my age is like, is lit, you know, I could relate to a lot more things with them, you know, we talk about a lot of different stuff, so like, it's definitely a different energy. It's like more youthful, you know, like it's more playful, it's more energetic. So that's one dynamic of the show that I'm waiting for everybody to see, because, like, you know, it's still gonna have like the grittiness, the realness of, you know, the original show,
Right?
And then on top of that, it's gonna have, you know, some playful moments, some funny moments too. So like, that's gonna be exciting for the new show for sure.
So you went from an all-star cast, and now you add Mary J. Blige and Method Man to the mix.
Yeah.
How is that? I mean, two iconic. I mean, you might be a little too young to kind of understand the music, but I know you know the music.
Yeah, nah,
but to be on set with these two, like, how was that?
It's crazy because, like, you know, like my mom would be cleaning the crib and stuff. She'll be listening to like Mary J all day and stuff like that. So that music like that was like always in my ears from when I was a youngin'. And also like my pops, like he grew up like in the same neighborhood as Method Man. Well, then their neighborhood was like parallel. Like my dad grew up in Stapleton, Method Man grew up in Park Hill, and they like right next to each other. So like, just being like, you know, just working with Method Man is dope because like we from Staten Island, and
right.
Staten Island's like the forgotten borough. So like we representing right now. You know, me and him on set. We did 2 Staten Islanders on set. So that's a big thing for me.
So y'all the majority then.
You know, Staten Island in the building for sure. But just working with Mary though is like, it's insane because like when I first met her at the table read, like she was like excited to meet me. I was like, what the hell, like. You're Mary J. Blige. What are you excited to meet me for? Like, but she was just letting me know like how much like she enjoys like the way I play Tariq and my work and everything and like stuff like that. That was just like humbling for me. And like, you know, Mary J. paying attention to like the stuff I do. Like that's crazy. Like she's a walking legend. So I'm definitely grateful, you know, to have those great people around me and the cast and everything for sure.
Playing Tariq, you know, you've lived it. How is it now? Moving into Power Book 2 because people hated to love you and they love to hate you because every week somebody wanted to beat you, somebody wanted to get rid of you, we was trying to trade you.
Facts.
How do you manage people not understanding, listen, this is just my character. Like this is not me. Like I behave myself.
Yeah,
trust me, I'll behave myself. How is that trying to get people to understand like, yo, this is my character?
Man.
Because you play it well. Like people won't hate you unless you play it well.
It's true. I mean like it's hard trying to get them to understand, you know, like, because they just so into the power world, like, they just stuck into it. So it's just like, you know, it's what I expect, really. I mean, if they wasn't doing that, then honestly, I would be mad, because, like, you know, if you're getting a reaction out of people, then, you know, that's a good sign. You know, they're paying attention to the show. They're paying attention to my character's storyline. So it's like, you know, I can't really ask for more. Like, you know, they're paying attention. Like, whether they hate the character or love the character, they, you know, it gets a reaction out of them. So that's really all I could ask for. What
motivated you to get into acting?
It's crazy, bro. Like, I mean, like, I like when I was little, like I always see like Disney and Nickelodeon. I'm like, damn, I wish I could be on Disney and stuff like that. And then, like, but I never really like pursued it. You feel me? Like I just always be like, yo, I wish I could act. But then like, music was always my thing, so I was always just focused on music before like acting or anything. So like one day I was just in Manhattan with my mom. We was walking to get some food or whatever, and a lady from this agency named Generations, her name was Gina. She just saw me and she walked up to my mom. She was like, is your son into any like print work or acting or modeling or anything like that? And my mom, like, they just ended up chopping it up for a little bit. And in the same week, I ended up going to an office for a meeting with the agency and stuff. And then after the meeting, they got me like 3-4 auditions for Sesame Street, Law and Order, this commercial for Price Choppers. Like, this was all like little stuff when I was like, you know, I was 8, 9. And then that's basically like how it happened. Like the ladies, like, she just scouted me and she was like, yo, like, you have a good face for acting and print work or whatever, so let's see if we could do whatever. And then that's basically how everything started, you know, like, got the ball rolling. And then I did this music video for an Italian singer. And like, that music video went crazy in Italy. It was like one of the biggest music videos on MTV out there. So there was a director, Silvio Muccino. He just saw the video, and like I don't know how he even got any of my mom's contact information. Like, he emailed her. He was like, we saw your son in the music video, and he's gonna be the perfect kid for my movie. And like, and basically they reached out to my mom. They got to her or whatever. And then we ended up going to Italy for like 10 days, like, you know, to meet up with them and see how Italy was, because, you know, the movie was gonna be shot in Italy. So I was out there just, you know, kind of getting the feel of Italy. And then I left and then came back, ended up living there for like a year and some change, and I filmed my first movie out there in full Italian, and that's really what got everything like started, like that movie, or the music video, and then that movie, and then from that movie I did Love right after that. That was the movie with Common and stuff like that. So,
did you ever think you would be this big,
hell
this
no.
early in the game?
Hell no. Honestly, like, I mean, like, I always like once I got into it, like, I always, like, you know, I always wanted to be like, you know, like, working, but like I never expected it to just like, you know, be like this. Like, this is crazy, bro. Like, it's honestly unreal to me. Like, I'm still like, still doesn't feel real. Like, the premiere is coming, it's closer and closer, and I'm just like, yo, what the heck? Like, this is really
It's
it.
coming.
Like, yeah,
It's here.
Yeah,
now, how do you prepare? Because you get into some dark places. You were in some dark places in Power. You know, leading up to the finale, shooting your pops. How do you find that space to kind of lock into the character, given whatever the scene is gonna call for?
Man, like, what you really gotta think about is like the character and like what the character has been through, you know, like, and like what the character is like witnessing and feeling emotionally in the scene. So like, once you kind of like understand where all the actions are coming from, and like the reasoning behind the stuff that he's doing, like it's easier for you to, you know, like tackle it and get more into the emotions of the scene. So like, I just be sitting and thinking, like if it's like a crying scene, I'd be like, yo, like, tell the director, give me like five minutes real quick, and just, you know, just think, and then it's just like
Just lock in.
just lock in and just try to, you know, I just give it all I got. But honestly, like, I don't know, like, it's been like that since I started filming, since I started acting. Like, I just take some time and then like it just goes,
Lock in.
Like, yeah.
You're with some heavy veterans. What is the best piece of advice you've gotten, whether it's worldly advice from Michael Rainey Jr. or advice to play Tariq St. Patrick?
Honestly, the few words of advice that really like stuck to me like 100% since 50 told me, like, this is when we was filming like season 3. This is like when Kane and Tariq, like, they first started like hanging out. So me and 50 had a lot of scenes together. We was working a lot. So we was just in the trailer, we was chilling, chopping it up about a whole lot of different things. But like one thing he said, he was like, yo, don't ever feel too entitled to something, because that's when you deprive yourself. So like that always stuck with me, you know, because like never feel like you're meant for this when something out there could be way better, and you just worried about this, and you deprive yourself of something way better. So it's just like, you know, don't feel too entitled to something, because it could be something way better out there for you, you know.
What's the biggest misconception that people have of 50, now that you had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him on Power?
People just think 50 is that, like, you know, crazy jerk guy that just always cursing people out and stuff. But honestly, bro, like, out of everyone I've met in the industry, and I'm not just saying this because like I look up to 50, like, this is a true facts. Like, that's the smartest man I've ever met, like being in the industry, like, as far as business goes, as far as just life goes, as far as just everything goes, bro. Like, that's the smartest man I ever met, bro. So like, I gotta stop with that. He's a genius. He's a genius. But he will curse you out too. So don't get on his bad side.
On the weekends.
You don't owe him no money either.
No, you don't. Yeah, you good, right?
I'm good. I don't got no debt.
Nothing.
I don't got no debt.
Because he, like, if he gave you lunch money, like, if you,
Oh, nah, I'm not even taking no lunch money.
you got to be real careful.
Yeah, I don't care. I got it 50.
No bets. You didn't make a bet, small bet on nothing.
Anything that has money involved, I'm not talking to 50 about it, because I don't want to owe him nothing. You mess around and just talk about some money, and then you end up owing him some money.
Because we were just talking about $5 the other day, so I figured you owe me $5. Because it could be misconstrued.
Yeah, it's a thing like that. You feel me? And then he'll have you think you really owe him some money, and then you be like, hold, let me get you your money, $5.
Right.
And then it's over for you.
And there's a wrap.
So I don't talk no money with 50 unless, you know, it's like the business.
And he's cutting the check. If it's you and him, be careful. Don't even talk about prices about nothing.
Yeah,
like, yo.
You got it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. On the weekends now, growing up, was it hip hop or was it reggae or was it a little bit of both? What were you rocking to? What were your parents rocking to that influenced you?
Definitely a little bit of both. Like, you know, my mom, she's from Jamaica, so she was definitely listening to that. But like, honestly, like, I really was always listening to like my own music. Like, even when I was little, like, I had my little iPod and stuff. I had mad 50 Cent on that shit. My mom always used to yell at me for listening to 50. She always used to, one time she took my iPod. I was so tight, bro. I couldn't listen to music for like 2 weeks. I was sick. All because I was listening to 50. She's like, all this cursing, all this blah, blah, blah. Everyone used to get in trouble for wearing a do-rag like 50, and she would never even let me wear a do-rag. She literally started letting me wear a do-rag when I was like 16, bro. I used to have to try to sneak out the crib with my do-rag on. If she see me walking out the crib, take that off, snatch it right off my head. But honestly, like, it was definitely a little bit of both, like Jamaican music, reggae, dancehall, and some hip hop too. Cause my mom also had a foster kid for a while that lived in a group home like across the street from us, and he ended up moving out of there. He was living with us, so he was like my big brother. He was from Jamaica. He was always listening to some Jamaican music. So like that's where I got like my knowledge of Jamaican music from. So shout out to my guy Sean.
All right, so I know you saw the versus battle. Was it Beanie or Bounty? Who did you have?
I ain't gonna lie, they both was killing it. But I don't know. I like Bounty Killer. I'm not gonna lie. Like Bounty, like I don't know. He got it for me because he be making that gangster music.
Yeah,
too.
he does.
I be in that mood sometimes, and it's just go crazy. So I think Bounty had it, but Beanie, he's the man too. I can't really pick. But
Icons.
if I had to,
Icons.
I think Bounty had the verses, John, for sure.
Now, who are you listening to these days? Like, who do you listen to when you're on set, getting ready to prepare? Like, who are some of your favorite artists?
Right now, man, I've been listening to a lot of like dancehall, like ever since I came back from like even like last year when I went to Jamaica. Like ever since then, I just really been listening to dancehall, like Massacre, Tommy Lee, Vibes Cartel, Squash and them, all the new artists, Prince Swanee, all the new dancehall artists. But as far as like rap music goes, I haven't really been listening to too much of the new stuff. Like I mean, obviously I listen to like Lil Baby, her Gunna's new album. Money Man is fire. I've been listening to Money Man a lot. Uzi, of course.
What about that new Nas? You check that out yet?
Yeah, I checked out new Nas.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's tough. What else? Obviously Fabio Foreign, Pop Smoke, rest in peace. Yeah, like I really been listening to a lot of dancehall. But honestly, once Pop Smoke dropped that album, I had to.
You had to cop that.
Of course.
You had to cop that. All right, so I'm gonna ask you a personal question though, because I know y'all thinking this. Is Major Hype your pops? Tell me, ain't somebody say, yo, you kind of look like Major Hype.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Someone definitely told me that before, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know.
You don't see it? Nah. What can we expect, man? We're super excited about this premiere. What do you want to see come from it? You are now 19, getting into 20. You started at 12. We're looking at probably another 5-6 year run. So at 25, where do you see yourself?
25, I see myself. Like I say this all the time. Like I never really want to speak on the future too much. Like at the young age I'm at, like, cause anything can happen. But honestly, it's like I just see myself just being happy. Being at peace with everyone around me, making sure my family's comfortable, making sure, like the people around me comfortable. That's really like my main focus. Like when I get older, I just want to make sure all the people that stay true to me, all the people that, that's real to me and that stayed around since nothing, I just want to make sure they're good, make sure everyone's happy, smiling, comfortable, and taken care of. Honestly, like me, I'm not really too worried about where I'm going to be. Like in 5 years, because like that's just it's gonna handle itself. But I just want to make sure everyone around me that's like
they're
my
good.
Real people, they're good for sure. Like that's one of my main focus.
How important is it, as we're seeing a lot of things that's going on in the news with police, politics? How important is it for young people to really go out and vote? And what are you doing to kind of champion people to your age to get out and vote and have their voice be heard?
Voting is everything. You feel me? Like you gotta vote to make that change. So definitely all the young people that's out there that's old enough to go vote, make sure y'all go register, vote, make that change. And yeah, I'm not gonna tell y'all who to vote for, that's not my place, but vote, make sure I make the right decision. That's all I'm gonna say.
If Trump go back in office, you gonna move back to Jamaica?
Oh, I already live in Jamaica. I'm only here because I gotta work. I'm out of here. Trust me. Jamaica, they'll be seeing me 6 months out of the year. And I'll be working here 6 months out of the year. Once I'm done working, back out to Jamaica. America.
Gone.
America's not it right now. Right now, America is letting all of us down right now. I don't like it. I don't like the space America got us in right now. I don't like it. So Jamaica, that's the motherland right now. I gotta go back over there.
All right. What's the biggest piece of advice you could give some young people that are watching you today that have aspirations of doing exactly what you're doing?
Man, always stay true to yourself. Don't let nobody tell you, you can't do something because of this, because of that. If you want to do it, go do it. If you want to get it, go get it. Because, like, the only person that could really stop you is yourself. So don't let yourself limit yourself, Go get that. Go get that new car y'all want. Go get those clothes. Go get, whatever it is. Not even just materials, you feel me? Like, go get whatever it is to make you better, to make the people around you better. And just go do that, for sure.
A lot of people died in power. If you could bring one character back, who would it be?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously, you know, I would want Little Sis to come back, yeah. But honestly, I would bring back Kanan. Kanan, because like, you know, he just added that craziness to the show. Like when he was alive, you know, Tariq was just starting to hang out with him. Like all this stuff he was doing was so like irregular. Like all that stuff was out of this world. Like what the hell, you got him doing all this crazy stuff. So like definitely I would bring back Kanan, because who knows what Kanan and Reek would have been doing right now.
Right.
If Kanan was still alive, you feel me?
Probably
that
taking
been a crazy
over.
Story, you know. So yeah, I would say Kanan for sure.
And you are uber successful, uber famous. What is the thing that you really dislike the most about being famous?
I mean, I wouldn't really say I dislike it, because like it's always cool, you know, like being like a role model for young kids. You feel me? Like I love inspiring kids younger than me, kids my age. But it's like, you know, like when you got like an image or whatever, like it's kind of like a responsibility, you know, like you gotta kind of like be perfect to the eye of the media. You feel me? Like I don't really like that, because like, you know, people make mistakes, people do, you know, people live life, you know, they do what they want to do. And like now, you know, with the media being so, you know, so strong in the world now, like everyone always got something to say about someone doing something. So
Right.
It's just like, you know, it's like the eyes is always on you, like no matter what you're doing. It's kind of like sometimes you just want to have that, you know, just want to sit back and just, you know, just be a human and just do, you know, human stuff. But you know, like that's what comes with the territory. So I wouldn't say I dislike it, but I would say, like, you know, I wish I had more time to just, you know, just be to myself rather than, you know, to the media, you know.
Who are some of your heroes growing up that kind of inspired you and motivated you along the way?
50 Cent, #1 inspiration. Ever since I seen him with the blue Lambo, like when I was a little son, I was like, nah, I need a Lambo. Like that like once I seen that, I was like, yeah, I need a Lambo. So that's definitely one of my biggest inspirations. My mother, she always keeps me going, because like my mom is the strongest human being I know, smartest, strongest. So like just her just being who she is, it always pushes me to be the better person, like a better person, and try to be the best me I can be. So definitely 50, my mother. Yeah, I would say those two. Like those are like the biggest. Those play the biggest part in my life, you know, as far as inspiration goes, for sure.
Power Book 2, Michael Rainey Jr. playing Tariq St. Patrick. It's your guy, June Archer. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Yes, sir.